All right, buddy. Where are we going this week? Is it back to Japan? Yeah, we're going back to Japan.
I'm turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so.
Why are we going back to Japan? Well, besides it being one of our favorite islands for vintage lenses, this week we're looking at one of Daddy's favorite vintage lenses, and a lot of people's favorite vintage lenses, actually. It is the RE Auto Topcor 58 millimeter 1.4. 1.4. Oh my God. It's a lens everybody would die for. Well, maybe they won't die for it, but they'd give up a right arm. Now, that's pretty heavy, right? Giving up your right arm for a lens and your orange. A right arm and an orange.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
Hey, is it any good? Yeah, it's pretty good. So why don't we find out how good together? Get yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable. And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. Dr. Scott Dylan back for another week of Camera Talk. This week, just as the intro says, what did the intro say, Dylan? Yeah, it said whatever that means. Oh, orange. He's saying orange. Need an interpreter sometimes.
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it?
Well, we mentioned orange, but not exactly what the camera talks about this week. We are talking about another great vintage lens from the island of Japan, from Tokyo.
One ticket to Tokyo, please.
A company called Tokyo Kogaku Kikai. Tokyo Kogaku Kikai. Is Daddy saying that correctly? I don't know. So you say Tokyo KKK. Huh. Maybe that doesn't come across well either.
Qualifications.
Stampeding cattle
That's not much of a crime.
through the Vatican?
Kinky. Sign here.
Anyway, we'll just call it Topcor. All right. So anyway, these guys were kind of rocking the photography world back in the early 60s.
Go way out, that's where the fun is, way out.
This particular one here, the RE Auto Topcor 58 millimeter 1.4 was introduced into the market in 1963. So that was a long time ago, 1963. That's before Daddy came along. Yeah. So I can't even say I was your age. It was before that. So this lens has been kicking around for a while. How popular is it? Well, if you look on eBay or any other place selling these things, they're quite expensive. And why is that? Well, it's because it's pretty good. I mean, the quality that you get for a vintage lens is pretty killer. It's a killer lens.
She's a killer queen.
Nah, not that it's killing anybody, but no, you know what I mean. It's a killer lens. So anyway, this was a lens designed for a particular camera called the RE Super. It was an SLR, of course. You didn't have DSLRs back then. It was an SLR single lens reflex, and at this time, it was just coming out of the realm of rangefinders, which ruled the day prior to the SLR. And Leica's the only one today really fully playing in that market. But anyway, the SLR, just was starting to really become popular and whatnot. So Topcon, the company who produced these things, produced this camera, and it was rebranded in other parts of the world. Australia, I do believe it was called Bestseller, Besseller, maybe one L, I can't even remember. But anyway, It's it's a Topcon, and they were kind of a short-lived company because of the fact that they just mismanaged their cash and ran out of money. Hate when that happens, huh? Yeah. And so they killed off their, I'm using the word kill again. Killing in the name of! They closed shop on their consumer photography wing of the company. So Topcon is still around today. They're doing medical imaging devices and whatnot.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Probably making buku bucks in that regard as well. So anyway, so this lens was so popular that the design itself, was based. It's everybody's talking about copy this and copy that. They based their design off of the Carl Zeiss planar because it was so popular. I've got one of those too, a 50 millimeter 1.4, great lens. It spends a lot of time on my camera. You okay? You need an ambulance? Yeah? Yeah, I need an ambulance. No. Anyway, it was so popular that Cosina, a lens manufacturer, third-party lens manufacturer, who produces in today's world, speaking of Carl Zeiss lenses and Voigtlander branded lenses, all manual focus, under various mounts for Leica and whatnot, as well as Sony and Nikon and so on and so on. But they created one, a Voigtlander 58 1.4, which is kind of the spitting image of this lens. And people go, oh, they copied this lens, they copied that lens. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's a copy. It's not exactly the same. I would say it's inspired by the Topcor.
Holy crap!
Anyway, so Topcon produced these Topcor lenses, and they produced a few variations of them based on quality. The basic consumer ones, the UV and other Auto Topcor lenses. But the RE, anything with an RE in front of it, is their professional top of the line quality lenses, and those are the ones I have 6 of those. Don't get jealous.
You suck.
But they're great, and I would never give them up because they are great for what they are. I mean, on a mirrorless camera, you can't go wrong, with these things. Everything's adaptable these days. And the adapter, the mount on these things, they call them Topcor mounts, but they were, again, adapted from or inspired by Exacta. So if you have an Exacta adapter, which comes with a little spring arm which locks onto a pin on Exacta. Oh, hang on. Mommy's home. Where's Dylan, you may say? Dylan's out there. Dylan's watching cartoons. He'd rather be watching cartoons than doing a camera talk with you and I. So, forget him for today.
Get the fuck out of here.
Exacta mount. So if you use an Exacta adapter, in my case Exacta to NEX for Sony, it works just fine. I mean, there's a little latch on the Exacta adapter, a little arm that moves on and off like this that you could catch the little pin on there so it holds it in there. This thing doesn't quite catch that pin, but it doesn't matter. It holds it in there anyway and works just fine. And again, as long as the height of the adapter, or the length of the adapter, depending if you're looking at it this way or this way,
That's how you use it.
is at the right distance from the sensor to be able to get the rendition that you're looking for. Anyway, so mirrorless world that we're in today, vintage lenses have come to life, and this is a vintage lens worth coming to life and worth you getting. As I said, it's a little expensive these days because a lot of people have come to discover Topcor and its value and its incredible performance, basically, for lenses that were throughout the early 1960s and whatnot, and eventually went away because of mismanagement of funds and everything else. The company just went, and off they went.
Idiot.
Now this thing being 1963 is, again, what everybody looks for in a lens these days when you're thinking of reviewing a lens. Oh, is it sharp? Is it sharp? Yeah, it's sharp. Even wide open is sharp. Center sharpness, of course. Because of the, if you compare this to some other 58 millimeter focal lengths, you may notice that the front element is a little large compared to the others.
That's what she said.
And because of that, it does suffer from ghosting. And it can. It doesn't say every shot suffers from it, of course, but it can, under the right conditions, suffer from ghosting because that front element is so big. Now, of course, everybody likes 1.4. Ooh, shoot everything at 1.4. Hey, there's some good, you'll get some good images out of that. But the bokeh, which is the quality of the autofocus background,
Rich, smooth, buttery bokeh.
is actually improved if you stop down just a little bit. Click. So they're half stops, yeah? From f1.8 to, or 1.4 to 1.8 to 2. If that's 1.8. Anyway, to 2 actually has a nicer bokeh. It's a little more pleasing, I guess, to the eye. So depending on what you're looking for out of there, but because of its design, it does have that 3D pop. When you're taking pictures of people wide open, you'll get that pop in the background.
Holy crap.
And so again, that's much sought after by a lot of vintage lens users out there. So it's great for portraiture, since I just mentioned that the autofocus background is quite nice. So it's again, something that is probably not going to be used by landscape shooters all that often. And same with me, I never even consider using these for landscape. It's always for portraiture. And anybody who knows me knows that's pretty much what I shoot anyways, people. That didn't sound right. I'm shooting people. Well, shooting people with my camera. Anyhow, this, if you're going to compare it to anything, obviously modern-wise, you could compare it to perhaps a maybe the Sony Zeiss 55 millimeter 1.8. If you want to compare that, but vintage-wise, Minolta, the Minolta 58 1.2 or 1.4, either one, has a pretty killer rendition. And same with its little brother, which I have up here too, which is a 58 1.8 Topcor. So they're similar with each other, similar qualities, similar looks. So it would be, it would be a challenge to do side by side, and perhaps that'll be an idea for another video. Maybe I'll do a head-to-head against Minolta, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, it's a big front element, 62 millimeter front element on this. If you're going to put a filter on it, 60, 62. Now its specs on this, are start off with the design, 7 elements in 5 groups. So it's, again, got commonalities with many other lenses out there. Its close focus is 45 centimeter, so about from here, which is not bad from that. Beats my 35 millimeter FLE on my Leica. Fraction of the price difference, but yet, hey, this is a 70 millimeter close focus, right? The aperture blades, 6, all Topcor, lenses of the day, and many others, Nikon and Canon and everything else. We're also producing a lot of 6-bladed lenses, so that's not uncommon. Now, of course, what happens when you start stopping down, click, 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 yeah, within, I'd say, Yeah, from, what's that, f2, almost 2.8. Still retains a little roundness here, so these are curved aperture blades, but because there's 6 of them, eventually you get to the point where are we here, just past 2.8, where you start to get the hexagon shaped, the nut-shaped bokeh balls. For those who understand what that's all about. So 6 blades, 300 grams. It's not the lightest thing in the world, but it's big. It's full of glass and whatnot. So it's a beast, a well sought after beast, as I say. A lot of people drool over these lenses. They're like, oh man, I wish I had one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 Topcor, lenses, and I know a lot of people would like to get their hands on them.
You can't always get what you want.
But anyhow, so how about we give you some sample shots? So I'm about just under 2 meters from the Canon M50 that I use to record these camera talks. And what I do is try to get, I focus in on the nameplate on the lens of the camera, and it's an EFM 15 to 45 millimeter. And so I try to get as close focus as I can on that to show you what it looks like from here. So let me do that. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let me see. That looks right about there. All right, 1, 2, 3.
What the fuck?
Hold your horses. It's telling me that I have no SD card because I don't have an SD card. So let's put an SD card in there and solve that problem, shall we?
And now for something completely different.
It's amateur hour here on Camera Talk. So, see, if Dylan were here, he'd be making fun of me now, saying, told you, Daddy. So, actually, one more thing. Let me check my steady shot settings. 60 millimeters, close enough to 58, so we'll go with that. All right, where was I? Back to looking at this. Is it sharp there? Yeah, it looks sharp right about there. All right, 1, 2, 3. Now, why is it not taking a picture now?
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
The stupid timer's on. Stupid timer. All right, take that off. And, all right, now, figured out I had the timer on because we were taking pictures in front of the Christmas tree the other day, so I had the 10-second timer on. No wonder.
Just dumber than a bag of hammers.
Amateur. So here we go. Zoom in, yeah, we look good right about there. All right, 1, 2, 3. So that's at 1.4. Let's do my usual, stop all the way down to 5.6 and get a look at it through here. And of course, it is sharp as we expect it to be, but just to show you the difference. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was 1.4 and 5.6. And how about some, even though Mr. Dylan's not with us at the moment, how about some shots of Dylan using this lens at 1.4? Looking good, buddy? Yeah. How about Dylan at 5.6 using this lens? And that was Dylan at 5.6. Now, how about some random stuff, right? We like to always give you random other stuff other than Dylan using this lens at various f-stops. So here's some random stuff at f whatever. Okay, well, that was our random stuff out of the way. So can we recommend this lens? We, the royal we? Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's a big thumbs up from me. Might as well give you a thumbs up from Dylan too.
Yes.
2 thumbs ups. Excellent, excellent quality, excellent rendition, excellent memories. You'd be happy with it if you had it as well. Of course, outdoors, you know, you could always stop down and everything. It's bright and sunny with that big element and everything. You could use a hood, probably would help. I use ND filters, you know, for me, just put sunglasses on there. That way I can retain that wide open look with that out of focus background, which I enjoy. So anyway, how about we give our little plug for our photo editing software that we use. And who do I use? I use Luminar. Luminar AI, Luminar Neo. Now, the Luminar Neo is their latest, greatest offering, and it's a combination of Luminar AI and Luminar 4, which was their last one. They married them up, and now you got Luminar Neo. It's been out for quite a while. Worked through the bugs, as you know, with any new software, it has its bugs here and there, and that's what most people complain about. But it's economical. Hey, for under $100. Once you buy it, it's yours for life. You know, you download it onto your system. It's not a cloud thing. There's no monthly subscription. Now they have subscription plans for some fancy schmancy elements that you can add to it, which I don't really use, so it doesn't really matter in that regard. But their latest, greatest thing they've added to it for free is called Gen Erase, and it's basically an erase tool that does a pretty damn good job. I mean, you can erase groups of people out of the scene, and it analyzes, the AI analyzes the surrounding background and replaces it with that, and you know, it blends in quite well. You didn't even know they were there. So very nice. I like it.
I like you a lot.
There's Gen Swap thing too, which I haven't tried, but that's replacing things like putting a tiger in your scene or something. Which, like, what the hell are you doing putting a tiger in your scene? But anyway, it looks kind of fake to me, so I don't even use that stuff. But the rest of the system, you know, spot and dust removal for those annoying little spots that can get in your scene, they can remove those for you without you having to brush through it. Power line removal, same thing. Nothing worse than taking a killer scene of some great, you know, antique building somewhere, or a castle off in Scotland, and then there's these power lines going through the scene. It'll take them out for you without you having, again, to brush over everything. It has a lot of stuff. It has masking AI, background AI, portrait AI, where you can blur out, if your background's not blurry enough for you, you can blur that out, or even replace the background with something else. Scenery lighting, if you want to adjust the lighting in the scene, like here, my light's over on this side, I can shift it to that side. Stuff like that. Anyway, is it worth it? Sure, in my opinion. And if you want a killer discount, because again, it's under $100, how about you save $10?
No way.
I can get you a $10 discount as well. Look in the description down below, click on that, and it'll take you through to Luminar's site. It'll deduct $10 right off your purchase. And what do they do with that $10? Well, they give it to me because I just spent 5 minutes telling you about it. And it's a company called Skylum, and they're located in Ukraine, and everybody knows what's going on there still. After all this time. Ooh, Mr. Putin. So anyhow, I think Mr. Putin realizes this is a kind of a crappy deal and wants out now. But now he's got to save face and just keep going until somebody either surrenders or negotiates a peace deal, whatever it could be. But anyway, so you're supporting something, you know, these guys are in this war zone, still upgrading and putting out upgrades for free to those who own the software. So so support those guys, doing a good thing for the Ukrainians. Anyway, other than that, well, how about you help support Dylan and I here, without Dylan, at Camera Talk, and subscribe. That's right, YouTube likes subscribers, it helps to expose us. So, subscribe. And why not? Third time's the charm, right? Left, right, left and right, subscribe. And what else does YouTube like besides subscribers?
You must tie her down on a bed and spank her.
Don't get dirty-minded on me now. That's right, they like the thumbs up. So give me a thumbs up. So you give me a thumbs up, I'll give you a little taste of the Thumbs Up Girls. It's one of Dylan's favorites. Hang on, my wife's calling me. Time out. Hold on.
So, fat woman, are you the boss around here or what?
Fat woman, my ass!
Hello, this is Camera Talk. Can I help you? Boom, mom. If you want to eat it, I'm fine. No, sure, I'll have a bowl of it. Yeah, order an extra bowl. Okay. Watching, no, he's watching TV. No, he said, no, thank you. All right, fine, I'll do it by myself. He closed the door. He left the room and closed the door. So he's sitting watching. Yes. Okay. Anyway, all right, bye. Bye. So, interruption from the wife. You know, hey, when the boss needs you for something, you gotta drop what you're doing, right? Anyhow, did we do a thumbs up? Well, how about I do a thumbs up for you? Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. So, aren't they cute? Uh-huh. Anyway, so who are we? Well, it's only me, but normally it would be Dylan as well. So I'm Dr. Scott. The invisible guy is Dylan.
Spartacus!
Bond. James Bond.
And together we're all Modesty Photography. And we're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage lenses, vintage systems, various camera systems. You know, I've got Panasonics and Leicas and Sonys and Canons. And, you know, we talk about all those types of things, as well as other analog cameras too, Konica, Cosina, and Yashica, and so on and so on. So anyway, that's what we're all about here. So, should you come back next week? Hell yeah. You subscribed, right? So, since you're coming back next week, hey, thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for paying attention all the way through to this part of the video. So without it, we wouldn't be here doing this, right? Anyhow, so you should come back. Why? Because you belong here. That's what I tell my university students. And, you know, everything I do here is for you. And for Dylan's future, so he can look back on these things and laugh about him being a 3-year-old on Camera Talk. But
No. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. 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 No.
he's not here to laugh at himself. In the future, he'll just laugh at me being by myself on the Camera Talk. Anyhow, so it's all about you. So this was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott. and Dylan. So we'll see you next week. We do one of these every Friday. It's Friday Vietnam time. Remember that. So it could be the day before you, the day after you, or the same day as you, depending on the funky time zone you're in. So we'll see you next week then, right? Okay. Well, take care. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you when we see you. All right. Bye-bye.
Here I am, Vietnam.